Ghostbusters, The Karate Kid, Total Recall, A Nightmare on Elm Street.
These are all movies that shouldn't have been remade.
But today we're going to talk about some classics that should be remade.
Today on the show.
Good morning, scallywags! As mentioned, today we're going to talk about kind of a touchy subject.
A little touchy, yeah. We've talked in the past about those gritty reboots, those remakes that we would love to see Hollywood produce, to put forth. But we're not talking about those today because we really don't have those kinds of...
Well, the way we've kind of approached it in the past has always been like, in a dream type scenario, in like the most ideal of settings, this would be awesome if this were done in this way. But that's not what we're doing today. No. We're going to tackle some actual classic movies, mostly from like the 80s and stuff, because let's face it, the 80s had the best movies ever made. But... not to say, I mean, it's real easy to say, I want to see a good remake of this, but that's not how it works. We don't have any control over Hollywood.
No control, no nothing.
So instead, we're going to look at if Hollywood were to take X property and remake it now, we believe it would be a good thing.
It would be a good thing. So first off, I really would like to see a total reboot of the Dark Universe. And I'm not talking about what's happened with Tom Cruise and the Mummy.
Right.
Let's forget it. Let's scrap it. Let's move on. We've talked about it in the past.
The Universal Monsters. It doesn't even have to be a shared universe.
No, it doesn't have to be a shared universe.
But they're talking about bringing the Dark Universe back anyway, even though the Mummy flopped. So let's just go with that. Say, okay, fine. I'm on board with this as long as it's done correctly. But again, we don't have that control. But it is something that I want to see done. But for a specific reason.
You've got all these properties. They're great properties out there. But one of my favorite movies, and I know it's one of his favorite movies.
This is what I want to see. Okay, so. Classic Universal monsters. We got Dracula. We got Frankenstein, Wolfman, Mummy, Phantom of the Opera, Creature from the Black Lagoon. Give us all these movies. That's all totally fine. Give us the Dark Universe with all of these characters. That's totally fine. But you need to add one movie at the end of it to a movie that I've been begging for. At first, I wanted to see a sequel.
Sequel would have been great.
I think it would still work as a sequel if you bring back the original characters, even though it's a movie from 30 years ago. But if not, totally fine. The Monster Squad.
Exactly. I mean, the Monster Squad's
got nards.
Wolfman's got nards. Yeah. Nothing like shoving a stick of dynamite down the Wolfman's pants.
But I mean, you could bring back those original characters, all grown up now. They've got kids of their own. And of course, unlike the adults in the original movie, they believe when the monsters come out because, well, they've already fought them before.
They've been there. They've done that.
Yeah. So you have updated versions of these monsters. No sparkly vampires.
Please,
not that updated. Vampire. You could even have, Dracula's got minions with zombies or something.
Yeah.
I mean, you could do a ton of different things with this, but it would be awesome.
And the caveat would be is they remember the kids from the previous movie.
Indeed.
Oh, that would be fun. Can you just, the Wolfman coming back and like, I remember you, but you're bigger and...
It was the greatest Frankenstein.
It was the greatest Frankenstein.
Ever done.
He fell in love with a little girl and that was
it was so cute. It was priceless. It was just heartbreaking when he had to go.
Right?
And he was reaching out for her the whole time, and you could see the harness and the wires on the dog, and it was...
Yeah. I love that movie. I did. It's on Netflix, and I watch it whenever I can.
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
I believe it's either on Netflix or Hulu.
I'm watching it tonight if it is. Actually, I've got it on DVD. What am I talking about? I can watch it whenever I want to.
The next one that we would like to see remade.
I don't know why you're looking at that list.
I don't either. What did we talk about?
Well,
we talked about
Enemy Mine.
Enemy Mine, yes. Classic alien sci-fi.
That is a movie that you either love or hate. Going back and watching it now is kind of difficult.
It is kind of hard. But...
It's a very slow-moving movie. It's a very character-driven movie. I mean, it's two people for most of the movie, but that is a premise: two races that absolutely despise one another, an alien race and a human, that are now stranded on this planet together and forced to work together to survive, and then they form a bond. Of course, I mean that's something that's pretty much can be done in any generation. I mean, that's not a story that goes away. So that is one that I would love to see. I think it could be very well done if you get a couple of very good character actors in there.
Yeah, very good character.
Could be done.
Yep. Keeping along the lines of space Yeah, space travel and
Stuff.
space stuff is Last Starfighter.
Absolutely.
We actually talked about this quite a bit before filming this today's episode, Last Starfighter, because the premise of Last Starfighter back in the 80s was it was a video game that was never supposed to be in this trailer park as a console. Boom, done deal. How do you remake that for today in the internet age?
I mean, arcades aren't that big a thing anymore. I mean,
No.
you could have it be someone that collects vintage arcade games or something, but like it would be easier to have it be, you know, a like a downloaded or a hacked computer program or an app or
somebody
something.
got
to that
into
effect.
like EA's files or something, and next thing you know, boom, they downloaded it. What is this game called? Last Starfighter.
Some strange game disc ends up at their front door. You know, I mean, you could go a number of different ways with
Yeah,
that,
there's tons of different ways.
But I mean, you know, video games are still big. They're potentially even bigger than they've ever been now, and on a much grander scale than they were back then. So, I mean, that story would work in today's setting.
It would definitely work in this thing. Again, hapless human hero goes forth into the universe to save the galaxy.
Yeah. See, Chapo is eating pizza, and Bella wants it, and so
That's
quiet.
the bark.
Yes. Bella. Anyway, with the barking in the background, what else did we talk about? Cannonball Run.
Cannonball Run.
A
Yes,
Cannonball Run. Now, this one's kind of tricky. To do this one properly, they are going to have to get some pretty, I don't want to say A-listers.
Yeah, I'm not going to go drop it and say you're going to get like, you know, the Brad Pitts out in it,
No.
or you might because he might.
But there are certain actors that you really, really need in this movie. Like you need, you know, Burt Reynolds needs to take on the Jamie Farr role. He needs to be the one that's running the Cannonball Run. But I would love to see like a Vin Diesel cameo.
Oh yeah. We talked about how much in the past we've hated The Rock and Kevin Hart team ups,
but they
need to be in it as a team up.
Kristen Wiig and Melissa McCarthy need to be driving a car
there somewhere.
I mean, you can add so many different people, and Jackie Chan, of course,
Jackie Chan
can come back.
reprise
I mean, he
his
could play the
role.
same character that he played in the original.
Yeah.
He hasn't aged that much.
Not really. But it'd be a really good classic comedy, feel good movie. Along the lines, we also tossed back and forth the idea of remaking Smokey and the Bandit along in that same genre.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like, what is he going to be running? What's he going to be carrying? We don't know.
Yeah. That one's a little more tricky.
That's a little more tricky.
You know, we talked about 5 movies, and I can't for the life of me remember what the other 2 are. Or is that 4?
That's 4.
Is that 4?
That's 4.
We did Monster Squad.
Universal Pictures, Cannonball Run.
Enemy
Mine, Last Starfighter.
Oh, okay, well, that was it. Hey.
So we're going to throw out a special one.
Yes, now this is not one that we want to see made. This is one that we
should
believe
be
absolutely
remade.
needs to be remade, and that is War Games.
If we're old enough, we're of that generation that we grew up with the Cold War.
Yeah.
And granted, it was the end of the Cold War, but still the Cold War was there.
It was a scary time.
It was a
very scary time. So that movie kind of pushed a lot of buttons, no pun intended. But like with the state of the world today, I mean, not only are the U.S. and Russia kind of going back and forth between we're okay and we're not okay, but you also got like North Korea,
China,
all of these other countries. We're making some enemies. Yeah, pretty much the whole Middle East.
In the Middle East, yes.
So that is one that could definitely be updated for today's standards and could still be
I still think
very
it would,
thought-provoking.
Yeah, I still think it would hold the same weight as it did back when it was originally.
Probably more.
Probably
so.
more. Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely.
Probably more now. Just the whole premise of the kid hacking into the Pentagon and starting a simulated World War III
Do you want to play a game?
end it with a chess game.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes, that's what that movie's called. War Games.
Games.
It's an amazing movie.
Do you want to play a game?
Yeah, the only way to win is not to play.
Is not to
Not
play.
to play. Exactly. So, I mean, yeah, get on it, Hollywood.
Yep, come on now.
I mean, that's one that's been rumored for a little while, so make it happen.
Hey, our phones, you can dial us up. We can help you write it.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah, maybe Cloak and Dagger. Anyway, I can think of a dozen movies while we're at it, but that's where we're going to cap the list off today. So what is a movie that you would like to see remade, and why? More importantly,
why?
Put it down in the comments below. Make sure you check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
YouTube, keep liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Please subscribe. We're in the push to 300.
That's right, yeah. And you like what we're wearing? You want one?
You want one?
You
get
get
one. right there.
Yeah, right there. Just send us a private message on our Facebook letting us know what colors you would like. That's color of the text, color of the shirt. They don't just come in black. And they're very
partial to the
comfy.
green myself.
Right. I like my red one. It's kind of like a charcoal colored on that thing, but it looks black on screen.
does look
Anyway, they're extremely comfy and very, very light and very
how much is one of these? How much is one
You
of
can
these?
get one of these for $20.
Do you
can get
have
a
long
long
sleeves?
sleeve one for
Oh.
$22. Or get yourself prepped up for the those cool summer nights going camping or fall
definitely.
or winter or whatever.
With one of the shows.
Get one of our hoodies. $25. Yeah.
So we're going to leave it there for you for a great Thursday. We've got something special planned for tomorrow's episode, so make sure you check it out.
And now your Russian clip of the day.
Он сейчас напал, чтобы не напал на собаку. Да, мы потом не остановим это. Да. Собаку забирай.
Hey guys, thanks for watching that video. We hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, and if you liked what you see, go ahead and click on our faces to go ahead and subscribe to get all of our Monday through Friday stuff.
Indeed. And here's a couple of links down below that you can follow to watch more shows like it. Tons of great content right here at Scallywag Productions. We'll see you tomorrow.